Hi, welcome to another edition of Inside CRCAIH. I'm your host, Melissa Buffalo, and today we are with somebody you guys are very familiar with Inside CRCAIH. We're with Michaela. Welcome.
Hey.
So I think I speak for many people, both within Sanford, within CRCAIH, and possibly the state of South Dakota, I think, in being super excited for you in receiving the Bush Fellowship.
Thank you. Yeah,
So-
I'm excited too.
And there also, I think, have been a lot of questions and trying to figure out who, what, where, when, and why. So, one, congratulations.
Thanks.
I'm super excited for
Yeah.
you. So, I just wanted to maybe take some time and get some questions and kind of hear your thoughts on what you want to do with your Bush Fellowship.
Okay.
So, maybe just starting with what made you want to apply and kind of what are you focusing on?
Yeah, so this process I started last August, so it's been like a 9-month process. I first heard about the Bush Fellowship a couple of years ago and I never applied for it, but I decided to apply this cycle because I am in my PhD program. I thought it was a good point to apply for this and really reach outside of my school to get more experiences in leadership and a different group I want to work with that they don't really have the expertise in. So I just thought I would apply and see what would happen because it's such a flexible opportunity. I really liked that.
So, when someone gets a Bush Fellowship, do they quit their job? Do they have to move? Like,
Yeah.
what does all that mean for
That a lot of people have been asking me that question. So some people do stop working. You don't have to move. You just have to live in South Dakota, North Dakota, or Minnesota. And I'm not quitting my job. I will be going down to part-time so I can focus on some of these efforts. But some people, it just depends on their life and if they want to quit or keep working. So it's really flexible in that way.
Okay. I guess, how do you intend to use some of that funding?
So I'm going to use it for tuition to pay off, finish paying for my PhD. I'm going to get a certificate in nonprofit management, so it'll pay for that. It'll also pay for me to just do some networking with other people in my field, go to some specific conferences and workshops, and really just build myself as a leader. So that's what I'll use the funds for.
Okay. Have you ever won any type of fellowship like this before?
No, this is a really unique fellowship. So I love it because it's so flexible, and like a lot of grants will give you money for a specific project, but this is really focused on building you as a leader and like your skills. And so I've never gotten anything like this before, and I think it's a really rare opportunity, and I'm super excited for it.
What did you do when you first found out you were selected?
I called my mom right away.
Hi, Mom.
I think I called her at work and she answered on the first ring. I think she was waiting for my call. So yeah, it was a really good day. I went to celebrate, got some food, so yes.
Exciting. One more question, maybe this kind of could maybe help others that are interested in applying, like any suggestion, or what would you tell others who are interested in applying?
I think just do it. It's a scary process to think about because you have to really answer some questions that make you think about yourself and your leadership, but it's totally worth it. And talking to other people is what really helped me. So like I know I've talked to you about it and other people here at work, just brainstorming my ideas and other mentors and friends to really think about my leadership. So
awesome. Well, I'm glad you see me as a mentor and a friend. I'm putting myself in that category, but I think we would really love to maybe see where you are in a year and kind of see how that fellowship's going and some of the leadership and a lot of that mental health piece and how this will impact the community as well.
Yeah,
so
definitely
follow up with you in a year. But anything else you want to add?
I think I didn't mention really the specific like issue I want to work in, and so it's not an issue-based grant like fellowship, but people apply if they see a problem in their community and how they can fix it. And so I really want to work to make South Dakota a more inclusive place for our LGBTQ population. So I'm going to be building my skills in that, and I think I kind of left that out in some of my other answers. So that's where I'm going to be networking with because I feel like South Dakota isn't doing the best job that we can do. So that's where I'm going.
So I think one more question comes to mind before we end in thinking about your topic, and tell me a little bit more as a Native person what it means for LGBTQ and in your community.
Yeah, so this LGBT people in Native communities, it's a very, like, Native populations already have a lot of health disparities, but when you look at LGBTQ people in Native populations, they go even higher. And so I think some of that comes from some misunderstanding of what it means to be LGBTQ and kind of westernized ways of thinking about this concept in gender identity and sexual orientation, because it's really something in a lot of Native cultures that it was accepted, and people who identified as Two-Spirit, for example, were, you know, had a very special place in Native communities. So it's an interesting dynamic, and a lot of people in Native communities are pushing for that like traditional way of thinking of gender roles and sexual orientation. So it's a really interesting topic, and I hope to learn more about that with the fellowship too.
Awesome. I think that's important maybe for non-natives to learn, because we do know that term Two-Spirit. So again, thank you for your time, and I'm super excited for you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
And we will see you on another episode of Inside CRCAIH. Thank you.
Bye.